question about regarding parenting. As we have discussed a little bit earlier, like the Khalil Gibran said, the statement that children have come through us, but we are not the producer. Exact word I am not able to say. We are not the producer or we are not the owner of our child. Just they have come through us. Such a beautiful statement. Actually, this statement explains everything. The problem with parents is, without knowing the meaning of parents, they become parents. Like, for anything or any role to play, we have some type of training, some type of exposure, including a telephone operator. If you work those days in exchange, those days, not nowadays, as a telephone operator, few months you have to go for training. Now also for any job, they appoint you as a trainee. Because without that you cannot. So you have to work under somebody, somebody will guide you. In fact, we say very clearly, who has guided you or whom you have really make as a role model, under whom you have been trained, that person's way of working will be your way of working. We have saying in India, that's what I always highlight, like you go to any corporate world, if you discover everything is very systematic in the office, you can close your eyes and say, the manager or the executive must be from South India. But after meeting with the person, you discover he is not from South India, but he happens to be from North India or some other part of India. Again, you can, don't worry, you are not wrong. You can again close your eyes and say, this person must have been trained under a South Indian person. This is what I highlight in management program. Why I am making this statement very boldly? Because even if the person is not systematic, but under whom is being trained, if that person is systematic, you, without your knowledge, you become systematic. Like that, parenting. The problem in parenting is a perennial problem. Perennial, continuous. Okay. So it perennially continues, okay, flows. So I use the word perennial problem. Nobody wants to be trained. Nobody. The worst thing they do is, first thing is, when you take care of your child, if your parents comes and takes care, what do you know? You keep quiet. We know better how to take care of our child. Only when things becomes complicated, then you expect them to take care. They may come or may not come. So we don't allow ourselves to educate ourselves how to be a parent. But nowadays books are available, okay? Tutorials are available. That actually confuses you. Better not to read that. I'll openly say. The more you read tutorials, who writes tutorials? All confused fellows. Bring a single fellow who has written tutorials. I am to talk to him or her. That fellow must be one of the worst father or mother. Unless that fellow is a worst father or mother, will not write a tutorial. You think will have he time to think, write all these things? Either he or she might not have father or mother, parents, or problematic parent, or having problematic child. If everything is smooth, I am sure that person will not be able to write book or tutorials. So basically you are studying or you are associating yourself with the person. When you study means what? You associate. Mentally, whomsoever, whatever you read, you are associating with that person, that third level. Now, basically when you are studying these tutorials and all these books, parenting books, you are getting associated with a confused person. Now, what will be the outcome? So whatever was earlier, you are complicating unnecessarily. Sometimes I notice parents, I am not telling you joke, this is my personal observation. I notice with many parents, those who do not study tutorials, they are somehow better parents than those who have studied tutorials. So, if this is the case, how to go about it? That's the main point. One thing one has to be very clear. As we have discussed this point very carefully, we all have come with a package. I have not come alone. I have come with a package. So, you all are in my package. I am also in your package. Can you see this point? You have to understand this much very carefully. Suppose I think, no, you all are in my package, but I will not think other side that also I am in your package. Then the problem starts. I start imposing myself. I start regulating. I start many things. So I have to understand that my family, what I call as my family, means my wife, my husband, my parents sometimes, and of course my children, are part of my package. Okay, it's a very big step actually if you say that. I'll be coming to that point. But I forget that I am also part of their package. So when I am also part of their package, it's not that they should grow, along with them I should grow. Not that they only should change, along with them I must change. This is the first point I have to understand, that I have come with a package. In my package they are involved, or they are part of my package, and also I am part of their package. But this is not enough. Now suppose I am part of their package, they are part of my package. That means, okay, let them do whatever they want. I cannot accept it. So there what happens, my job is to improve my package, not to change. This is the problem we make it. All the time we have to work on to improve our package. We can make to understand our package in such a way that without our knowledge, our package is expanding. But here there is a problem with the parents. The problem with the parents, almost every parents, they always think the child is extension of them. Starts with mother. Yes, no doubt in it. I am sorry, mother has done a big job. I respect mother in this regard. Yes, the child was extension of you as long as the cord was joined. I am not telling you jokes, you have to understand this much. As long as the cord was joined, that long the child was extension of you. The day, the moment the cord was cut, child is another individual. Remember this point. It's very hard to listen to me, but this is the reality. But mother, coming to mother, then I will come to the father, don't worry. Because I have got a lot of things to talk, first mother, because there are good things are there about mother. Also, of course, I won't say negative side, unhealthy side is there also, both. Positive and unhealthy, both. Now, mother thinks that my child is my extension. And every mother wants the child should be replica of me. I don't know where from they get this thought. Okay, if you want your replica, your duplicate, hey, do you like you yourself? So you don't like yourself. So when you don't like yourself, why you want your child also wants to do the same thing? I don't know where from this idea has come. Like I remember somebody told very nicely, I am not telling you this, I have seen these are the few things. This is a very wrong example, but I went through this. There was a boy who was drinking. I am talking a very old example I am giving you. And those days if you drink, in Orissa example I am talking about, very old example. So people really don't respect. In fact, they call, hey, this fellow is a drunkard, don't waste your time with him. That bad it was. Now things have changed. Unfortunate thing, really unfortunate. However, so this fellow was like, when he was some 18-year-old boy, he was drinking. And people started calling him, hey, drunkard fellow. So everybody, like elderly people, many people they called. And what he did, he tried to catch hold of some people and young boys, and he destroyed. And these elderly people did not know how to talk to him. So this news came to me. They said, you better, if you listen to you, please talk to him. And that person happens to be elder to me that time. So all these elderly people did not know how to handle. So they, okay, I said, okay, let me talk to him, how to go about it. So I called him one day. I said, hey, what is happening? I am told that you are doing all these things. What is this? So really, that has a lot of anger in him. He said, who told you all these things? I said, I got to know. No, I want to know who told you, who gave this information. I said, look, I am asking you, tell me what is it. No, yes. I said, why are you doing? Is it right? He says, right or wrong, I don't care. Right? Then, because I understood that means there is some frustration in him. I said, then why are you doing? He answered me, because I am alone drinking, everybody calls me that I am a drunkard. If I make everybody to drink, nobody will call me as a drunkard. And especially those who have called me as a drunkard, catch hold of them and catch hold of their child and make them to drink. So that when they discover their child is also drunkard, my job is over. happily, openly, I can drink whenever I want. This is called one of the saddest approach. Understand now the point? Now, look at mothers. Okay? Hey, I am not comfortable within myself. Now I want my daughter especially to be the duplicate of myself. That means what? Am I not interested? Am I not creating another problem for me? It's not right. It's not healthy at all. Allow the child to become a child. It's very rarely I see a mother, and of course I'll come to the father later on, allowing a child to become a child. And worst thing is parents, father. Father never allows a child to be a child, but father always wants to be a father all the time. And whenever he wants the child to become a child, child should be a child. That means child becomes a teddy bag, a toy. That's why we say, in our childhood, I remember I had told this point. Somebody asked me, like, because I also sometimes used to say, whose pet you are, father's pet or mother's pet? When somebody asked me, are you father's pet or mother's pet? I said, none of them. Neither I want to. Hey, why should I be their pet? For what? Am I a pet or what? I am a child. Okay, maybe I was too matured. But what I am trying to highlight here is, every father and mother must know that we are here to help them so that we are growing up. For our growth, we are helping. But what parents do is, parents never help their children. Very rarely to see a father or mother to help a child. Always they invest. They never spend. They never help. They always bargain. Every father, every mother, till their death, they try to bargain with their child. That means if you do bargaining, what does it mean? You are doing business with your child. You don't trust your child. That time you go to a shop, you do bargaining when? When you know the shop is charging more than the thing. That's why now the fixed shops are there. Fixed rate means you cannot do bargaining anymore. But if you look at your child, with your child, what you do? Do you do the bargaining or not all the time? So why to do bargaining? First you start doing bargaining with reference to study one chocolate. Then slowly whole life you keep bargaining. And second thing, you invest with your child. You never spend a single pie with your child. I'm sorry. No parents spend a single pie with their children. Always they invest. So that means every investment has a return. Expecting some return, you invest. But they forget. There is a beautiful saying. This is what I understood. Do you know who becomes your child? I should not tell this truth. That person generally becomes your child. This is called karma theory. In general, okay? Whom you have cheated a lot in your previous life. Get the point? Whom you have really, who has done a lot for you, but you have not paid back. You could not pay back because of some reason or other. Now that person is born as your child, so that you work everything all the time with interest. You hand over everything to him or her without spending. That one has to understand first. So, I must learn to spend, not invest. And child has its own way of living. Yes, if I can guide, let me guide. If I cannot guide, let me be very honest. Let me tell the child, look, this is what I can provide, more than this I cannot. But what happens to the most of the parents, the third one is, they pretend as though they know everything. And when they discover the child is knowing that I do not know anything, they exercise their seniority, their authority. I am elder than you. I have got better experience than you. The job of every parent is must really be humble in front of their children. Really, if you want to exercise your humility, the first thing one should do is be a humble person in front of your children. Because if you ask me honestly, whether you are humble or not, your child will give certificate. The best certificate, if your child says, my father is a humble person, that is one of the best certificate you can have. The best appreciation that you can have. Even if the whole world says humble, but if you are not humble in front of your children, you cannot call yourself as a humble person. So, I should really develop humility in front of my child. But what I do is, I don't become humble in front of child, but I humiliate my child. Most of the time, knowingly or unknowingly, parents humiliate their child. So, humiliating child is not healthy at all. And in this case, what I need to do is that I must allow the child to live not the way the child wants, just I am using the word to live. While living, whatever I know, let me just inform once, twice, 3 times, or whenever is required, let me inform. Whereas, what generally we do, we impose all the ideas upon our child. In fact, child is not only my extension, but also the extension of my frustration. I am not telling you, but I have been noticing with the parents, and also psychologically I have seen all these child psychiatrists, when we go to psychologist or psychiatrist, because that is my favorite topic, okay. I love that. Because if I sleep, while sleeping, if you talk of psychologist and psychiatrist, I get up, okay, wake up, okay. This is my problem. Maybe I have got some psychological problem, okay. However, so the child psychologist, they will really highlight this point, that if the child is being humiliated a lot by their parents, or you can say not being appreciated, not being accepted by their parents, that child will have some psychological problem later on. In fact, you cannot rely upon that person who has been humiliated a lot by parents. Now, every parent, knowingly or unknowingly, I am coming to the parent side, knowingly or unknowingly, they humiliate their child. See, what is humiliation? Hey, you do not know anything, keep quiet. Is it not humiliation? The moment I say, suppose you are asking me a question, hey, keep quiet, what do you know? The moment I say, hey, you do not know what to do with my voice and everything put together, is it not humiliating? Maybe you have got a standpoint. Yeah, true. Yes, true. Then after saying true, I can say, no, this is a different standpoint. Can you see the difference or not? But if you look at the parents and child relationship, what do parents do? And especially, I have noticed a few things. See, those days there was a joint family, that was a different thing altogether. I have been taught, we really grown up in a joint family situation. Suppose the elders are discussing, children are not supposed to be there, not part of it. Okay, because we had different type of things to do, okay, there are somebody to take care and we are allowed to go away. Now we are growing up in a nuclear family. And elderly people means a father and a mother. If they are discussing, I am not supposed to be part of it. Is it possible? In fact, if I am not part of it, they will fight with each other. And mother will come and scold separately, father will come and scold me separately. And the worst thing they say is, because of you, we are together. If you are not there, we would have been separated by this time. Can you call them as parenting? I'm sorry. That is not parenting. So, the main focus of being parenting is, I would rather say, I am blessed. This is the first thing we say. The word we used, I am being blessed to have a child, to have this child. So when I say that I am being blessed to have this child, that means this child is a special child. Whether it is a special child or not, but it is special to me. Can you see the difference? Whether a child is special or not makes no difference, but child is special to me. That's why in this case I respect mother especially, whatever child may be, but mother accepts the child in a better way than the father. So, child is special to me first, and I am being blessed. Second thing is, whatever I can do to improve the child life, whether it is education or finance or way of living or way of thinking, whichever I can really help to improve, let me help. If I cannot, at least let me not destroy the child by imposing my ideas, my way of living, my informations upon the child. And I have noticed with most of the parents, those who are informed, I call them paperback knowledge. They are the detectors. All the time, because some paperback they have gone through here and there. So, they only destroy their children. The psychological damage what a child goes through because of them. So here, I must be humble. I don't have to humiliate. And moreover, one thing I have to say to myself, which is the most important thing. Yes, I was also a child to my father. What did I do for them? and what my child is going to do for me. Get the point? So that I don't have to invest. I do whatever they want, and moreover, to the extent I give them freedom, to that extent I become a free person. In fact, that is the real parenting. Allow them to grow, not to restrict, but while allowing them to grow, keep an eye. That is most important thing. Keep an eye. You are just monitoring them. Time to time, you are informing them. And moreover, if you observe, there are certain ways we say, this is the parenting. Till 5 years, be very strict with your child. In fact, till we say, till 5 years, which now present psychologists will not accept it. Till 5 years, you can use the stick with the child, because child will only understand the stick. You need to create some type of fear. And after 5 years, till second phase of teenage, you have to allow the child to grow. This is called monitoring. And after second phase of teenage, be a friend to your child. You are a friend, no more father or mother. This is how supposed to be. But our problem is the other way around. In childhood, we are friends. The child will call, Ba, D. D means dad. Hi D, what's up? The child calls. I was shocked, one child is calling, hi D. I say, what is D? Because honestly I didn't understand. Why D? What is D? D for dad. Hi D. So instead of how are you, what's up? Child also feels very proud. We are modern. Fantastic, nothing wrong in it. I am not telling something wrong or right. That's not the point. But it is not healthy at all. But when child grows up, like after second phase of teenage, the final stage once comes. Now child is grown up. You understand the point that time? There what happens is, you cannot mold because chapter is closed. Better be friendly. In fact, more you become friendly, child will start sharing with you. Be a friendly father. Till that time you don't have to be a friendly father. Honestly speaking, be a father, be a mother. In fact, this being a father, being a mother will help them to grow up in their life. And I have noticed personally, anybody has become a friendly father or friendly mother before this, they have spoiled their children. And also equally, after second phase of teenage, if you don't become friendly father or mother, you will create some hatred and some problem for the child. That is also equally dangerous. And to keep everything in a capsule form. I can say this much. Mentally, I must say, oh children or oh child, you are my teacher. Because of you, I am learning a lot and I am grateful to you. And if this is the attitude, or with this attitude, I am sure you will discover the child will have a healthy life. And whether child will have healthy life or not, at least you will have a healthy attitude towards yourself and towards child. That is what matters in our life. Thank you. Yes. Alex, thinking something?
Still thinking about it.
Okay. I know it's a very tough job, but this helps us a lot.
How can I be humble, let the child the freedom to grow, and still not spoil the child? For us, this is the problem, We don't humiliate our children. All the books and teachers say in parenting that we should let the child have self-esteem and not humiliate them, be their friends. And on many occasions, we find out that the child is spoiled.
It's too much freedom.
It's a lot of freedom, maybe. I don't know.
Exactly what he said, I do agree. What happens with reference to our children? Most of the parents, they work with their sense of guilt, not with reference to sense of duty. In fact, sense of duty also is not that healthy. At least sense of duty is much better than sense of guilt. So, when I work with sense of guilt, sometimes I am very nice. No, sorry, I made a mistake. Sometimes I am very bad, and most of the time I am very nice. Get the point? Or some people other way around also, don't worry. Both are unhealthy. I don't have to be nice with my child. This is my way of looking at. At the same time, I don't have to be bad with my child either. Can you make a, you don't have to. Why should you go out of your way with your child? For what? No. Must not. But at the same time, you don't have to be really too rigid with your child either. Because every action has got opposite reaction. It will come back with a reaction. So what happens to us generally when it comes to the parenting? We expect a lot from our child. Not only from the present situation, or in a given situation we can say, also in keeping with our future. This actually makes us to be afraid or not to be sure about ourselves with reference to our children. And especially when we get some information from teachers and other people, we get really shaken up. That is what I was highlighting. Studying this paperback and all these things really destroys us more and more. So what I have to do is very simple. After all, it's my child. I have to tell my child, this is what I can do it. This is what me. Sometimes I am stupid, but sometimes I am good also. Nothing wrong in telling a child, because who you are, you might not be knowing, but your child knows much better than you. This is what I have understood. Every children, they know their parents better. In fact, if I want to get information from about anybody, I call the child. I don't call them. This is how I do it. How is the weather? I'll call the child. How is your weather? Mama, weather is too high today. Or Papa, don't ask today. I am not telling you jokes. Child will give the correct information about the parents. You might not be knowing yourself, but the children know you very well. So if you know, if they know very well, what is wrong in expressing yourself to them? You understand what I am trying to say? Yes, I am unhappy today because of some situations. Maybe you will discover that child will have better emotional maturity. That time the child will become your mother or your father. You will be shocked to know. I have noticed in a few cases, the moment you start sharing with the child, okay, not necessarily too many things, there is a limit. Maybe child will behave, like a more matured person. Will start taking care of you. Then in return, you need to take care of the child. Can you see the difference here? And it's possible. All are possible. Only then it will be possible when you have attitude that it is a learning process. Honestly, I know nothing, but the child has given me opportunity to learn. That's why he or she is my teacher. Through them, I am learning. And if this attitude is there, I'm sure you don't have to bother. Whatever you do is healthy. May not be right, because with reference to children, don't look at this is the worst thing the psychologists they do. It's a horrible thing they do. And education system, they highlight on right and wrong. Who are you to say right? Who are you to say wrong? Because in life there is nothing called right, there is nothing called wrong. Please understand, in life there is nothing called right or wrong. It is a standpoint. It's like, tell me now, this side, is it right? Is it right? Huh? Thank you. Understood the point? It's a standpoint. If it is for me, it is right. For all of you, it is left. But if I say, no, it's right, all of you must believe that it is right. How is it possible? So, as right, left is a standpoint, so also right, wrong is a standpoint. It is not ultimate. But whether it is healthy or unhealthy. Can you see the difference? So, I must highlight, especially with my child, whether it is healthy or unhealthy. But every parent highlights on right and wrong. Very rarely I have come across parents, those who really highlight on healthy and unhealthy aspects. And I am sure with this, one can allow one's own child to grow up. Thank you.
I have a question. I just remembered the very first 2 or 3 questions, I think, that I have told to Victoria when I first met her. I said to her, that I came to her yoga classes because I wanted to know what role do I have on this earth, and how can I find my inner peace, because I don't know how to stay just with myself, and how can I say no without explaining myself. So those are the 3 questions for I haven't got yet an answer. And that's why I'm asking you now, first, how can I find my inner peace? Because I'm not letting myself to make mistakes, and I don't know how to make mistakes. I don't know if you understand me, and I don't know how to accept mistakes in my life, neither from me or the others. So those are my questions for you.
Fantastic. It needs some introspection. I do not know how to present, psychologically or spiritually or intellectually or emotionally. But one thing I can say, interestingly, I am telling you openly, today I saw your Facebook because updates, some 2-3 updates are there, today I saw. Then I went to the profile photos. So I saw, just I am sharing you, which this video should be switched off. Please switch off the video. This is not right. There are certain things